In 1929, the Fox Theater opened up as a silent movie theater. In 1929. Think about that for a second, okay? Well, soon talkies came, and they had to change it over and retrofit it then to all of the to make it a movie theater that played movies that had sound. Well, the long and interesting history of the Fox, ultimately it closed down. It reopened in 1981. Mary Strauss and the Strauss family renovated it in 1981. The ceiling was vacuumed.
That must be difficult.
Yeah, it really was. And they opened it up. And yesterday, so the ceiling hasn't been cleaned since 1981. So 91, 2001, so that's 30-something years, right? 33 years, right? Is that fair enough? 32 years?
32.
So you're thinking to yourself, 32 years, how it's a ceiling. Nobody walks in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
How bad can the ceiling be? Well, yesterday I was lucky enough to go up into, not to the bowels of the Fox, but literally to the ceiling of the Fox. There is scaffolding, and we're showing pictures now at stltoday.com and at ktrs.com. The scaffolding goes from the floor all the way to the ceiling, to the point where you can barely see the stage from. You can't see the ceiling, and you can barely see the stage from the top. And what's extraordinary about this is they are painstakingly renovating the ceiling to its original glory.
Mm.
There is scaffolding from floor to ceiling. You have to shimmy up and literally hold on to this and jump onto that, but don't hit this one. I'm like, really? You guys want me to do this?
It looks like there's a lot going on there.
So that picture you can see now is from that's from the top looking down.
Okay.
You know the giant elephant?
Sure. Yes.
On top of the stage?
Yes.
I was above that.
Wow.
On scaffolding. So I was face to face with the elephant, if you will.
So they just don't get a lift up there and power wash the ceiling?
No. And they were showing me pictures of the dust that was on all of these ornate, intricate plaster gargoyles, for lack of a better word. And it looked like that ceiling fan that hasn't been cleaned in 5 years. You know that little dust stuff?
That would just irritate me to death.
But all of that was so they swept it, then they cleaned it, and they took a toothbrush and cleaned the plaster.
Mm-hmm.
And
it can't be too rough with stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So they repainted it where they could, and they patched it where they had to. And I think once they take all the scaffolding down, you're going to see the ceiling of the Fox glow again. I mean, it's going to look gold.
So it's not one piece of scaffolding. You're saying it's floor to ceiling, but it's also wall to wall.
It's wall to
wall.
It's
across the entire theater.
Yeah, all the seats are covered in plastic. It's. To see the Fox from the ceiling down is
be interesting.
Pretty
Very
extraordinary, and I hope the pictures do some justice. I took pictures as well as video.
Are they looking to do this every 32 years? What's it going forward now? Are they going to plan to do this like every 10 or 5 or something?
I don't know, but
I'm sure it's got to be somewhat costly to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I asked. I'm glad you brought that up because they're also fixing that 12-foot diameter chandelier in the middle of the Fox. So I asked the question, how much money is this costing? And they said, we don't know yet. We're still the tab is still running.
Oh boy.
Because they're coming to the end. It's an 8 or 9 week project. They're rushing to get done because it's going to open up and they got Fantasia coming and they got to get it going. So they're into crunch time. So they don't know ultimately the cost. But I asked them. I had Mary Strauss on the show not too long ago, and I asked her, when you renovated the Fox in 1981, how much tax dollars was involved? City, county, TIF money? $0. So I asked the question yesterday, all right, so now you're up and running. You have to clean the ceiling. Probably wasn't in the budget. How much tax dollars? How much TIF money? How much state dollars? How much? $0.
Stan Kroenke doesn't like to hear that.
$0. That's exactly right. So if the Fox can fix the ceiling for $0, Stan Kroenke, maybe you can, fork over $1 or $2 to fix the stadium the way you want it. But everybody forgets that the Fox Theater doesn't get a dime of tax dollars, and it is one of our cultural treasures in St. Louis. And we got the pictures up online. We'll tweet out this segment to see, but pretty extraordinary work being done at the Fox.